I swapped in the larger coil into the configuration, pulled this coil out, dropped that coil in. This coil actually turns out to run at about 14 kilohertz. This coil was running at 89 kilohertz. The output voltage with no load connected off the half-wave bridge and no capacity connected on the small coil was 16, 17 volts. The output from the big coil, no capacity off the same bridge output, half-wave bridge output, is 2 volts. If I add the capacity on the big coil, then it goes up to 5.9 volts. If I add the capacity on the small coil, it stays at about 16, 17 volts, but it takes longer to reach that voltage since there's a capacity collecting multiple pulses to be able to reach the same voltage there. So one of the other main differences then is using the small coil, the input was noted to be about 50 milliamps, and it dropped down to like 10 or 20, somewhere down below the 50 milliamp mark. And on this coil, even though it's 2 volts out, it's sitting at 0, or what looks to be 0. Need a better resolution ammeter to be able to tell exactly what's up there. And the current measurement of these batteries here is at about 3.94 volts, and these are at 1.35 volts for this cross parallel bank. So it's pretty close to a balanced situation, and yet it's still providing some light out of the LEDs. So the next thing I think I need to do to be able to use the large coil at the lower frequency more effectively is to use bigger voltages. And this was just meant to be safe for like school kids to play with. 3 volts, 16 volts out, that's not going to shock you. Using 12 volts, you should be able to get upwards of 100 plus volts. And that could shock you if you don't do it right. So you got to be careful, I guess. So I think what I'll do is 9 volts next. I'll get 6 9-volt batteries and see how those work. That'll be an 18-volt relative potential. So something to do. I'll probably go back to that coil as well.